Good evening, everybody. It is Dr. Angela Cudger, and I am here for another Wellness Tribe check in. We are here live tonight with Dr. Bonita Parker, and we're going to be diving into what real authenticity is all about and how you can embrace yours. So, as soon as you jump on here, let us know that you can hear us, let us know that you can see us, and we're going to get into the content for tonight. If you have ever wondered, and this is the time that a lot of people are wondering, who they are, what they really do, and how they
Mhm.
really want to stand in their own truth and their own power. Authenticity and your ability to be authentic and how you serve and how you show up is everything. So we got people already jumping on here. And as soon as you do, let us know that you can hear us. Let us know that you can see us because y'all know sometimes Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching stuff, watching us at can be a little bit off. So while you guys are jumping in, hey, Charlene. Charlene's already there. And Charlene says, I can hear you and I can see you. Charlene, you are awesome. Naomi says, hey, Bonita. Hey, Angie. Hey.
Hey, Naomi.
So good to hear you. All right, so we're gonna jump in tonight. So first things first, as soon as you hop in here, you let us know that you can hear us, you can see us. Make sure that you know sharing is caring. Anytime we go live in this tribe and outside of this tribe, you turn your live stream into a life stream. So share this out and make your timeline a lifeline so someone else can get this information and it can actually change their life. So Bonita, let's jump in and go ahead and talk about this, right? There are so many people who can actually give information on authenticity, right? But I feel like there are certain people who have lived a certain way and act a certain way, and how they show up is purely authentic. And in my book, you're one of those people. So
Oh, thank you.
take a moment really quick and let people know, hey, say, thank you for watching us over on YouTube. Hey, hey, hey. So take a moment and let people know a little bit about who you are and what you do as the radical success coach.
Yes, yes, yes. First and foremost, I have to thank you so much for having me as your guest. I truly appreciate this opportunity to come and chat with you, my sister friend, as well as your incredible tribe. I have followed you. I have watched you grow. I have watched you take the health and holistic industry by storm and become one of, in my opinion, the top leaders in this industry. So I thank you. And I'm so honored to just be here and have this conversation. So basically, what I do, you're so welcome. What I do, I am a motivator, I'm an inspirer, I'm a thriver, I'm a conqueror, I'm a survivor living with metastatic breast cancer. I'm a 15-year event planner turned radical success coach and life coach for women. I help women find their authentic power and their voice and build successful brands around that.
Mhm. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. One of the things that I had to grow to embrace, and you were one of the amazing people who helped me see that, was that when I showed up and just begin to just be myself, so many other people got permission to do the same. But beyond that, I know that a lot of us see like the physical part of this, but there is a huge metaphysical, spiritual, deep soul level type of thing that allows us to really show up when we actually step into our truth and we let go and just be ourselves. For the
Yes.
longest time, I was terrified to go live and be on live stream, right? I would say, I'm totally an introvert. I totally can't do it. Everybody else's is so much better, right? And I started just saying, if you could show up and a life could be changed, would you do it? How would you do it? And would you be authentic? And would you enjoy it? And so
Yeah.
the answer to all of those questions were yes, 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 1,000 times yes. And so this is why this subject is so near and dear to me, because there are a lot of people who feel like they can't embrace their authenticity. We're always judging, we're always comparing. And so I want us to really kind of talk about this and really break this open tonight so that people can actually be able to understand it. So I know a lot about your journey. I want you to share just a snippet of how you came into your authentic self. What
Yeah.
was a pivotal moment for you on your journey that said, listen, I got to start showing up because I see
Yeah.
not only my breakthrough, but I see the breakthrough of others as well?
Yeah. So it's funny because if I can just have the for a little second longer, because it's twofold. Because what a lot of people don't know is when I started in this industry back in 2014 in the empowerment space, I actually started off, I was someone who was abandoned by their mom, right? So
Mhm.
what that did for me was it shut me off from women altogether. And
Mhm.
we know that having relationships, what I call now sisterships with women is pivotal. It's key, right? We need that. But I was so shut down and closed off as a result of what I had gone through as a child with my mom that I didn't want that. And it wasn't until later on after I had entered into this industry that I had started longing for it, right? I was like, wait,
Mhm.
I need sisterhood. I need women. I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to offload with. I need somebody who I can be real with, somebody who I can open up to,
Mhm.
right? And so I started this event. I created this event called Unmask Yourself.
Mm.
What Unmask Yourself was, it was a space where women could come, women just like me, who were afraid to open up, afraid to show their true self, because I was faking the funk for years, right? Not letting anybody see me,
Mhm.
not letting anybody get close enough. And I was like, this space will allow women to open up and just be true and be authentic. And it was powerful. It was so powerful, so incredible. I had people like Lisa Nichols was actually my keynote speaker, but I had
Mhm.
Iyanla like battling for the spot against Lisa to be my keynote. That's how amazing the concept was.
Wow.
And what happened was like 150 to 200 women had gathered. We were literally having candid conversations, opening up about our own childhood traumas and things that we went through. And in that, people were able to just release. They were
Mhm.
able to build these powerful sisterships and everything. And so, as my luck would have it, a few years later, I had developed cancer, right? I
Mhm.
had got diagnosed with breast cancer. But in that time, I had stopped opening up. I had kind of shut down. I took a year off. I took a hiatus. And it was like I got the diagnosis, I shut down, and I wasn't fighting. I was like, I don't know, I can't do this. I don't want anybody to see me. I don't want anybody to know. And I was slipping, I was declining, right?
Mhm.
And so my honey was like, I need you to get radical. I need you to fight this thing. Do whatever you have to do to fight. And I went
Mhm.
all the way back to basics. Like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
I teach and preach authenticity. I teach and preach transparency, right? Realness. And so I said, you know what? I'm going live. I'm just going to go live. I'm going to let people see me. I'm gonna share this with the world. Whoever watches, whoever sees it, I don't care. I need to do this for me because this is me. I am authentic, right? I am real. I am
Mhm.
transparent. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. And at the end of the day, that journey wasn't for me, it was for somebody else.
Mhm.
I went live and
Mm.
it went viral. It
Wow.
went viral. Like the onslaught of support, like people who didn't even actually know me, but who had heard of me or who had followed me, like they were in tears, they were reaching out. It was amazing. And it
Wow.
was overwhelming, but it was necessary for me to begin my healing and my fight, right? So that's what did it. That was the pivotal moment.
Wow, that's amazing. One of the things I have always said is that there is immunity in community. And I
Oh
don't just mean, and when people think about immunity, they always think about the
yeah.
physical body. What they don't think about is there is immunity to negative energy. There is immunity to having a great mindset. There's immunity to making sure that you get the support that you have with anything that's going on with you. There is so much great immunity in community that it helps us to raise our vibration, and that's what we're all really here to do on this planet, so that we can help other people. I love how you shared your story. I remember when it went viral, and I was like, "Holy smokes!" Like I knew this was happening. Even as your friend, like I knew this was happening, but I did not know to the extent what was going on. And so it
Absolutely.
speaks to that ability to really be authentic and really kind of step into that space. And what happens when we do? What happens when
Yeah.
we actually do? And so let's pivot a little bit about talk a little bit about what then began to shape in your business, in your brand,
Yes.
and how you showed up, and what the expectation, if any, from the people who were coming to you.
Yeah, for sure. So as a result of this journey, and the fact that I did open up and share and allow people to see me, I was able to attract the right tribe, I say the right tribe of people who I was designed and destined to serve. And so that was like the main thing. And when you do that, and understanding that when you are you, and when you let people in and let people see you, that energy transfers. And so people were able to see me. My business took off. It skyrocketed. Like, I literally did absolutely no marketing during that 2-year span that I was on that breast cancer journey and in treatment and everything. But what people don't know is I was coaching. I was still doing workshops and things behind the scenes. I had clients coming to me like left and right. Like, I want to work with you. I want you to help me.
Wow.
I want to, be in your tribe. And I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, God, what are you doing? Like, I'm not even, able half the time to, coach these people or to be, but he made a way for me to show up, and he instilled that. I got that strength. I drew the strength from the people who needed me. And so when people kept asking me like, how are you doing this at the same time you're going through that? And I'm like, people need me, like I'm here, people need me. And I made sure that they knew, okay, look, on these days I may not feel good, right? But on these days I will feel good, because I knew how the chemo affected my body. I was like, we can, do coaching on these days.
Yeah.
And so that's how it was. And the expectation was still, it was like, even though they knew what I was going through, they still expected me to show up for them and to guide them. They weren't selfish at all, but it was like, okay, I know what you're capable of, because you are letting us see that. And your fight, I want to have that same strength. I want you to show me how to be just as strong, just as tenacious, and all of that in my business as well. And so that's pretty much what the expectation was. It was amazing.
I
That
love
was,
it.
people ask me like, what was the pivotal moment? What was the best moment of your career? And I always revert back to that, because it changed me in such a way that, there's no fear, there's no doubt, there's no nothing, because I feel like I can get through that, right?
Nice.
Just,
I love that. And this is such a timely message, because people are in a space now where they're actually being faced with who they really are, who they've truly partnered with, right? If they are cohabitating, right? What they've instilled in their children, right? You can see it's like a mirror staring back at us right now. And in that mirror is everything we've built. In that mirror is how real we have been, how authentic, we've been. In that mirror is every single thing. And we're faced with that. And so at this point, it takes a lot for some people to say, this is me, this is who I am, and then be bold enough to ask the question, now, who do I really want to be?
Who do I want to be?
Right? Who do I want staring back at me, right? When I look into the mirror, right? I literally have to stay out of the mirror, because I'll kiss myself, like I'll kiss my reflection. Maybe that's off to some of you people, or maybe you think that's crazy, but I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like,
yes, you're amazing, and I love you.
Right. But it took me a long time to get there. And I can honestly say that at this point, right, I get up every day and I say, oh my God, I love what I do. I love my life. I love the people who I get the privilege of serving. That number is growing every day. And so I'm just massively grateful. And it's not because some people show gratitude because they want to get more of what they have been receiving. And that's important. But to me, gratitude is it's my natural essence, right? To just be absolutely grateful for every single thing that I get to do on this path. And so because of that, my brand shows up differently. The words I write across social media show up differently. How I deal with people, other people in business and friendship relationships and everything happens differently, right? I govern myself in such a way that I demand respect. And for some people that works, and for some people it doesn't. And I'm okay with either way, right? I'm indifferent about either way, because I'm being authentically me. And I know it took some time to get there. And so I am very cautious of staying in that space because I know
Absolutely.
if I leave, then there's some, my gratitude is going to change. Like I'm not going to be as grateful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's
I
not
know
going
what
to
you're
come
saying. Yeah.
out. Yeah. So it's who I am authentically. And so I've seen where people kind of swipe things that I put out and they just take it and they paste it or copy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen that across the industry too, because even
Yes.
though it might be a quick swipe, to me, it's like they take the breath right out of me because it was my journey. It was my way of expressing myself. So to swipe
Yeah.
it, it's just not only is it inauthentic, but it doesn't, it blocks them. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I definitely know about that. And I can all revert back to when I did the unmask yourself. And this is what made me stop doing it. I probably shouldn't have, is because when I started that unmask yourself, it became a trend. It was like the next thing I know, and I did it for 2 years. And the next thing I know, everybody was unmasking. They were unmasking in books. They were unmasked brunches. They were unmasked lunches. They were doing everything. And I remember thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, I created that. Like I spent my hard, my hard work. That's my work there you're swiping. And it's without permission.
Yeah.
It's without permission. And it's like, and I think you said this to me before, just in conversation, like it's one thing to inspire, right? But then there's another thing to flat out copy.
Yeah.
And so I felt trespassed on. I was like, wait a minute. Like,
Yeah.
you can take it, yeah, but at least make it your own. Be
Yeah.
inspired enough to make it your own.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so what I'm convinced of now, like it's harder for us, especially in this technology age that we're in, for people to really be true to themselves, right? Because they see something, they think once you put something out on social media publicly, it then becomes public property.
Yeah.
I think that's what people think.
Mhm.
And, you know, logically, realistically, okay, fine, yeah, right? But have some integrity. Look, yeah, not really, but have some integrity. Have enough belief in yourself, in your abilities. Have enough, you know, to where you want to be an authentic voice on your own and just be
Yeah.
inspired, but don't copy, right?
There, and I love it because it's like if you watch a movie, how it says inspired by a true story.
Yeah,
And so
inspired by
it's
the
funny how
story.
people will say that movie doesn't match the actual story. Well, it says it was inspired by it. Didn't say it was going
Right,
to copy it, right? And so I always
exactly.
take it to mean it's not going to be a replica of the truth, but it's going to hit some highlights of
It's
what
gonna hit some
possibly could
highlights.
have been true, right? Or a remake or a spinoff. I look at it as something like that when it says inspired by. But I want to talk a little bit deeper about this too, because you, the things, and I know you're like this too, like, and it's why your stuff went viral. It's why all these different things, you got the opportunity to serve so big at a huge level because of your journey. But I will say this, and not because I know you personally, behind closed doors, there's a lot of work that you put in, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Spiritual work, physical work. There's a lot of things that you put in because of that. And
Yeah,
so, one of the things that I've discovered along my own spiritual path is that when I am trying to compare, when I am trying to copy, when I am trying
mhm,
to hide my own self and not be my own authentic self, when I
mhm.
am using someone else's words in the place of my own voice, my
Yeah,
own soul at a
yeah,
deeper level can't stand up and speak
yeah, yeah, for
because the
sure.
energy is being shifted towards somebody else's something else that was
Yeah,
their unique ability, gift, download, or whatever they decided to bring to their planet during this lifetime. And so
yeah,
when I'm in alignment with taking, I'm out of alignment with my own purpose. And so
absolutely.
that same energy can be driven towards what is mine? What is
Yeah,
my authentic self? How do I
yeah,
stand firmly in my truth and trust that when I show who I am to the world, the tribe will show up and support it, right? So
yeah,
so that's really what I think is a huge piece to this, that at a soul level, talk about a little bit, like at the spiritual level, what did you experience and what did you go through, what did you have to do to get back to this amazing person that you are right now?
Yeah. So it took for me a lot. Okay, so let me just back up a little bit. Let's understand one, okay, all ideas stems and branches from some main thing that was originally created, correct? And we probably can agree that not all ideas are completely original.
Sure.
But when someone takes, especially when you have done the work, your internal work, your healing, your soul healing, as you guys like to say, I love that, your soul healing. I did a lot of meditation, I did a lot of self refinement, meaning redefining like who I actually was. And did it really matter that they took that thing, right? Was that the bigger part of me? Was that actually the thing that I was supposed to be doing? And I had to take a look at that as well, because sometimes we think like, okay, we created this masterpiece of an event or of a program or something like that, and it may not be the thing that we were supposed to do. But we have to know enough within ourselves to say, okay, you know what, I'm a creative, right?
Yeah.
I'm a creative, and I know that God has a sole purpose for me, and it's bigger than the thing that they stole, right?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
the thing that they swiped. I don't
Yeah.
want to say stole.
Yeah.
It's bigger
Yeah.
than the thing that they swiped,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Right.
so let's have it, because guess what? I was already shown through my meditation, through my self-awareness, through my self-healing, that there was something bigger. And the cancer journey actually enlightened me in that regard. Like, it was like I was able to see within myself what the bigger picture was, because I
Yeah.
got still, I got quiet, and I let the higher power lead me. I let the higher power lead me. And that was basically the thing that I had to do, to get back to me.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm bigger than this. This is not, I wasn't that event, right? I
Yeah.
wasn't that, I was something else. I was
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah, I love how you put that. And it reminds us that even though we're here to birth ideas and great things, because it's really like you birth a baby and somebody just swipes it. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
that's
just so
not,
my baby.
hold
And
on.
that's the thing, like, not everyone is a creative. It's only us creatives who really get um protective over our intellectual property, right?
Yeah,
Because we're always in that space, like, wait a minute, it takes a lot to go into it. And it's not just something that we just throw out there. It's
yeah,
weeks and months of hard work and making sure that what we put out is something worth putting out, that's going to make a difference in somebody else's life and impact them in such a way. So it takes a lot, and people don't understand that. They don't see the behind the scenes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that even beyond that, I like how you said, well, I love how you said, um, I was not that event. I was not that thing, right? There's so much more that can come through me as a creative. And I love that because it reminds us, even because our journeys are all about us staying heart centered and and why we're here on the planet. Most
Yeah,
people don't understand this, but this is the reason why we're here. And I love it because Tyler Perry puts it so eloquently. And he's like, most people are here to take. That's
yeah,
it. All they're ever gonna do. But and this is the part that I add to it. The realization of when a person raises their vibration, their realization shifts to the fact that they're only here to give.
to
And
give.
so it's a huge realization for people, and they have to tap into and stay heart centered, kind of like what you just said, right? You like, I was not that one thing. There's so much more I'm here to give to the
Yeah,
people that need me the most, because I'm a giver, right? Because I'm here to pour out, because I'm here to birth more, be more, see more, do more, expand, right?
yeah,
And I think that, I don't think it's that people don't know, because we know, right? I don't know is something 2-year-olds say when they're trying to get away with stuff, right? We typically know what's up, right?
definitely.
We,
Right.
we had a feeling about it before we swiped it or before we did it. But what we didn't understand was that we're either progressing and regressing. And the moment we swiped it, we chose regression, right?
Yeah,
We can choose, right, something different the next time, but that moment has already passed.
yeah,
And so just being who we authentically are is so massively important. Let's run to the comments really, really quickly. Jocelyn Ferre says, good evening. I'm hearing you and I am seeing you. So Rod, thank you for rocking out with us on YouTube. Scott says, will you speak on how you preserve and own your ideas and creations once you do share? Absolutely, for sure. She says, Lisa, hey, Lisa Payton, hey, gorgeous. Lisa says, your filters are glowing. Thank you so much. She says, thank you for this energizing content. That is exactly what this tribe is all about. Lori Alessandra, thank you for being with us. She says she loves this. So let's talk a little bit about like what Sa'ara says, because I love health and wellness, but anybody who knows me at a deeper level knows that I am innately a business beast. Like I might not know it. I might not know it. But I'm gonna hit you with an NDA with some real language and
that's what I was going to say. Protect yourself.
And it's gonna be watermarked. You ain't even gonna be able to copy and paste that bad boy by the time I email it to you. So I am all about.
You are the queen of NDA.
I am. I'm like, somebody say, "Oh, I had an idea." I'm like, before we talk, let me get you with this done.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Another word, right? So literally, if you want to party with the queen, you're gonna have to sign a non-disclosure. Like
sign a non-disclosure. and I even do that with my clients, though. Like if they come to me, like of course we have the agreement, but sometimes like we'll get a little off, and they'll say, "Oh, I had an idea. I want to run past you." And I'll be like, "Okay, well, have you told anybody else yet?" And then they'll say no, and I'll be like, "Okay, send me a non-disclosure because this wasn't part of the agreement. Like I'm your coach, but you're coming to me with a new idea."
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh my God, I love it." No, listen, protect yourself at all costs. Like just like Mayweather said, protect yourself at all costs, no matter what. And don't, you have people who you can talk to and bounce ideas off and everything like that. But you still have to protect yourself and your ideas.
Sure. Yep. And once again, immunity and community. Like you never know who knows what, right? And so I love that, right? At the moment something gets off track, let me tell you something. I have witnessed, people create products, services, programs, and I turn around and I see it on TV with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like somebody has not only taken their idea, but have grown it to scale because they didn't take the opportunity to protect their vision and to protect what they were bringing to the planet. Now, will they be able to birth more great ideas and things like that? Sure.
Absolutely.
But here's the reality, and I'm glad you asked this question. The reality of it is you, nor I, nor anybody else can tell you what thing is going to make you go viral.
Yes.
Nobody knows what that thing will be. And so to swipe from somebody else is just wrong, especially if you swipe from me, because I probably protected it, right?
Right.
I protected it. So you better not make no money off of it. I'm gonna be like, yo, let me get you this attorney. Let me get you this summons over here, right? So that's the thing. Like you want to make sure that it is protected. Even protection, you protect it with copyright. You protect it with trademark. The moment you think it's a great idea, or even if you don't think it will sell, if there is any single thing about it that is unique, you definitely want to be looking at trademarking and doing your research on that and copywriting, right? And then if you're doing any kind of agreement with anyone, you want to make sure you have some different clauses and some teeth in that contract, not just, oh, you can't share my information, right?
Absolutely.
You want to make sure you're in alignment with that as well, okay? Let us know if that answered your question. Charlene says, I'm learning how to do that in front of people. I have a hard time letting all my authenticity show in front of an audience. Here's the thing, Charlene. You want to speak to that, Bonita?
I was gonna say, you go ahead. I'll piggyback. I got something.
Okay.
Yeah. No, let me go ahead. Charlene. Okay, so great. I used to be the same way. My thing was, you have that question in the back of your mind, like, how do I know that people actually want to see me? Or how do I know that I'm going to say what they actually want to hear? And the thing of it is, truthfully and bluntly, it doesn't matter. You go get in front of the camera and just be you. And I guarantee you, the people who need to hear it will hear your message and they will gravitate to you. They will feed off of the energy that you're pouring out in that video, and all will be well. Don't give it any thought. The thing that we mess up on is we put too much thought into what we're going to say, how we're going to look, who's going to watch, how many people's going to join, when really at the end of the day, none of it matters. None of it matters, because you will be seen and you will be heard and you will attract the right people.
I love that. And so Charlene says, spill all the tea, right? so listen, so here's Charlotte's hilarious. Miss Montgomery. So here's the thing too. I love that definition, but I love how you explain that. She's right. When the moment you open your mouth, they will come. Now that doesn't always happen with programs, product, services, but people will hear you and they will show up. There's a metaphysical reason as to why they show up, right? The reason why is because every single thing you say and every single thought you put out into the universe or through your mind, it sends out, you're like this broadcasting beacon. Before you ever go live, before you ever show up and press play, before you ever do anything, your life, the way you live, the way you think, even if you're growing, this is why people who are going through a hard time can get a lot of play online. That's why wounded warriors sometimes get a lot of play, right? Sometimes more than they can handle. But it sends out this psychic beacon out to everyone who's like you and who needs you. That's why it's imperative that you show up, right? It's imperative that you do that. All right. So she says, okay, I'm halfway there. Good.
Half the battle.
Right. And so Saat says it gave me some guidance. Thanks. Absolutely. I'm glad this helped you. And so let us know, you guys, if you have any other questions. Bonita, this has been amazing. Like, should we keep going, or do you want to keep going?
Like, let's feed off the energy of the people. What do they want? Open up for Q&A.
Awesome. So we can open this up for you guys if any of you have any questions about being your true self, stepping into your power, stepping into your own purpose, being authentically you when it is time to show up. What happens if the words don't come to you at the right time? They will, right? I remember before I started doing this, because sometimes we overthink it and we get in our own way, right? I was asked by my amazing virtual assistant, Siobhan Pounders. And Siobhan, if you're watching, put something in the comments. Siobhan is outstanding. And the reason why I want to say this is because Siobhan would be like, you need to go live more. I'm like, no, I don't. We just need ads. We need to post. We need to do things like that more. And she's like, no, the people want to see you. And I'm like, no, they don't. They're just fine. We posted. See, make sales. Look, we did good. And she's like, no, you. And I was like, no, it's not me. They don't need to see me. And so I stood in my own way, not because I didn't know enough, but because it was just like what Charlene was saying, like, what if they don't want it? Or what if they want to see someone else? What if this isn't enough for them, right? And I had to really lean into the fact, Bonita, that I am more than enough for who needs me now. Absolutely. I'm more than enough. And that is what I keep at the forefront of my mind before I go live. And so for me, even still to this day, Charlene, I actually had a mentor to tell me, I was like, I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but I asked them, I was like, you speak in front of tens of thousands of people. Do you ever get nervous? And they said that never goes away.
It never goes away.
You just learn to grow even more and try to outgrow it. So you learn to develop yourself even more and try to outgrow it. That's all. But there's always some kind of feeling you get because you're getting ready to change the energy in the room. You're getting ready to change people's lives. And so going live, Charlene, showing up, whether you're posting or whatever you're doing, it's you getting ready to shift the energy and the atmosphere for yourself and someone else. So it's never going to be super comfortable, ever.
Yeah, never. And if it is, be nervous about that. If it's ever comfortable, be nervous about that, because anything that's great, anything that's going to change some lives is going to make your whole inside just swell up. Like, you're going to be nervous, period. Yeah. Period, point blank. I don't care how long you've been speaking. I don't care how many people you've been in front of. you're going to always have some type of raised energy that's going to well up, right? You're going to be nervous.
Yep. And I remember being that person like, my hair is not right, or this isn't the way it should be, or the lighting is this, or the graphics look terrible, and this is, and none of that matters. In the grand scheme of things, would you do it if it helped somebody and you enjoyed it? Yes or no? And if
Yeah.
the answer is yes and yes, then go for it.
Go
Set up
for it.
a phone, put up a post, just go
Yeah.
for it. Because the way you do it is all that matters. How when you do it is all that matters. Gail says, I get nervous of people challenging what I say. Ooh. Bonita, you want to speak to that?
Yes, yeah. The first thing that popped in my head when I saw it, I was like, why? Because like to me, it's like when you get nervous about people challenging what you say, there's some level of doubt in what you're putting out, right? And you don't want to fuel your system or put out that energy that you're lacking confidence in what you're delivering. When you're confident in what you're saying and what you're about to put out, there's you don't care whether people challenge it or not. There's no nervousness, there's no nothing, because you know what you know, right?
Yeah.
Don't pretend to know what you know, just know it. You know it, and this is what it is, and that's it, period. Like, that's all I gotta say to that.
I love that. I love that. And one of the things I was going to say too, Gail, and I'm glad, thank you for being transparent here and putting this out here, because
Sure.
a lot of times when people don't want to be challenged because they really are used to being right. And in many cases, I will say this because it's probably true. You probably are right.
You are right.
You probably are right. and so I think there's a way to relax into that, but there's also so much room for growth for all of us. And so because there's so much room for growth, I'm not afraid to say that, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not afraid to say that. And because I'm not afraid to say that, I've always been in a space of growth. So more than likely, if somebody comes up, they'd be like, you need to go ask Angela. I bet you she knows. Go ask Angela. I bet you if she doesn't know from the body to the business, go ask.
Go find out.
If she don't know, she got a connection to point you in the right direction to get you the insight ASAP, right?
Absolutely.
And the reason I'm like that is because I am not afraid to say I don't know. I'm not afraid of that at all, because you better know the next time I'm asked, I will know.
And that's what I think a lot of people have to understand and become okay with too, is that you're not going to know everything, right? You just aren't. You're not going to know everything, and it's okay. But if you can find out an answer, look, or ask someone, if you have a resource, if you got Google, you got the answer. Like, or you got something close to it. So it's okay to not know. Like, yeah.
And I'm not afraid to, I'm not afraid to say it. Saat says, I am the overthinker for sure. Right. Right. So done is better than perfect, right? Get something going, get something started, whether it's you protecting your business or you protecting what you put out. Get something going, do some research to see what you need. Terry Thompson says true. Gail says good point. Thanks. Yeah, for sure. She said, yeah, I am the one, right? Hey, Omika Rich. Thank you for Omeka Rich. Thanks for joining us here. And so you guys, before we hop off, because we're gonna get off in just a moment, let us know if you have any questions about anything. And then always when we're in this space, we create a certain kind of energy, whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching it on Periscope, whether you're catching a replay, a watch party, a live stream, on a timeline somewhere, or whether you're watching it in one of our tribes. You want to make sure that number one, you share it out. And number two, you seal in your time where you have actually grown and expanded and changed your life, and seal in that time with us here together. And to do that, you choose someone in the comments that you do not know and you send them love and light, because now is the time we need that support the most. Okay. And this is a great way to build community and get to know people even better. Right. So choose someone you don't know, send them love and light in the comments. Bonita, any last words before we hop off? This has been amazing.
The infamous last words. The key thing that I think I want to drive home is to be you, always be you fearlessly, be you authentically, and don't be afraid to hone in on your transparency and who you are. When you look at other people, when you watch what they're doing, when you emulate them, you're taking away from you. You're taking away from your energy. You're taking away from your soul. You're taking away from your own authentic power. And in order to circumvent that, just stay true to who you are. Deliver the message that you want to deliver in the way that you want to deliver it. And don't worry about what people are going to say, what people are going to think, and just trust the process and trust that people who need you will show up for you to serve them. That's my last words.
I absolutely love it. Listen, thank you so much for being on with us here, Bonita. Thank you for being with us tonight, Dr. Parker, and for sharing your wealth of knowledge and all your amazing energy, right? You are always amazing. To everyone else, you're welcome. To everyone else, it's been a pleasure sharing time and space with every single one of you. Remember, tomorrow night we're going to be talking about sacred food made simple. So if you ever wanted to know why what you eat becomes who you are and how you think at a soul level, you definitely want to be joining us tomorrow night. So until then, love and light, y'all.